What's going on, guys? So we did a lot of work over the last couple of days getting this pool set up. If you haven't seen some of the videos I've made on this topic, we are in the process of building a pool, or at least erecting a pool, putting a deck around it. We're using this as kind of a temporary pool out here at the property, mainly because it takes about a year to actually get a contractor to build a underground pool, and at the same time we don't know how the final look of the house is going to be, so where we can even plot where the pool is going to end up being. But this is a huge 32 by 16 foot above ground Intex pool, 52 inches tall. I've seen a lot of videos on this. We have a kind of a crazy tarp system going on here. We have the tarp that came with it on the ground after we leveled it. We use the excavator and the tractor to level it, and then we put inch thick foam insulation boards on top of it. I use 16 of those 4x8s, and then we put this tarp that we picked up at Harbor Freight. It's 24 by 36 foot tarp that's on top of that one, and it's all kind of sandwiched in place. So the ground should be pretty well isolated from the bottom of the pool, which will be really nice. The next thing we need to do, which was kind of buried in the instructions, and it'd be nice if they told you at first, but we need to put these pavers right here. These are 16 by 16 by 2 inch pavers, and we need to put them under every single leg all the way around the pool. And if you don't put them on, you actually void the warranty. So it's pretty important. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull the tarp back. We're going to use the excavator to make kind of a trench on each side of it. Then with that, trenched out, we'll be able to drop them in place because they need to be level with the ground or flush with the ground. So that's kind of where we're at. It's been a bit of an effort to do this right. Yesterday we needed some really clean sand to be able to put down on here, and some of the sand I had mounded up was not really clean. I had a lot of grass and stuff from areas I've practiced, so I dug a huge hole over there with the excavator. Then I would dump the deep, nice, clean sand into the bucket. Then the bucket would, or the tractor would come over here, dump it in place, and we'd level it all off with that. So we did quite a bit of that, but today it's mainly getting all the blocks laid in the ground, and could use a little bit of the excavator for that. And here is that beautiful 2022 Ram Lone Star Edition. This thing is super cool. It's got the Cummins. You probably hear Buddy barking in the background because we don't want him out here right now because he might chew on the liner, which is something we want to avoid. But yeah, here's a beautiful truck, and it helped us today by hauling these 30 pavers. I think these are about 45 pounds a piece, 50 pounds, somewhere in that range. Did a fantastic job doing it. I saw somebody over at Lowe's using a Tundra to haul this huge stack of mulch, and it really made that thing squat. But this thing did well, especially with the air suspension. You level it all out. I mean, I think we were right around maybe 1,500 pounds worth of cargo capacity, and the truck is lowering right now. Didn't do anything. It just started lowering on its own. I guess that could possibly be a bad thing, depending on what you're hitched up to and what you're doing. But yeah, I just got to move the truck forward so we can get the excavator and get it start making our trenches so we can drop these things into place. Okay, so we have the trench on this side and this side. I just completed this side. I have to do it on the far side over there. Got to figure out how I'm going to get the tractor over here. I got to move all this wood out of the way a little bit so I can get to that area. But I have a cord right here that I can't actually interfere with. So I'm having to be very surgical and make sure I don't cut it open with this blade. So that's where we're at right now. We're making essentially the little indentions in the ground, or we're excavating in the ground so we can put, well, those concrete blocks all around the pool. A bit nerve-wracking. So I got my dad behind the controls of the mini excavator. Yeah, this is the second time he's used it. First time was pretty much the day I got it. I think he thought he would just hop on it and be a pro because he's operated a backhoe before, but the movement of this thing is just so different than I guess most people would think. And it's not intuitive to, I guess, what you might be normally used to if you've operated a backhoe. It takes a lot of finesse for sure. But we're pretty much done with the ditches around here, so we can lay our pavers in and try to put the supports that are required underneath everything. It's a process. Some of the sand is really easy to break through, but then you got these other spots like right here. It's almost like stone. It's crazy. We're working it. It's coming along. After he's done playing around in the excavator, we'll put the pavers in and see how everything holds up and how everything's leveled out. Sorry for how loud it is. I have the cap closed and the AC running, but a lot of people wondered if I've mastered the foot controls on this thing yet, and like I said, practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect at it, but I've certainly gotten a lot better. I have no problem cruising around now and with my foot controls as opposed to my hand controls. And somebody had mentioned to use the turtle mode if you're going to be turning a lot, so I certainly heeded that advice, and turtle mode certainly helps slow it down a little bit, but at the same time give me a little bit more power to maneuver, especially if I'm trying to make a turn in the, you know, a stationary position. But yeah, it's not very difficult. I mean, I use the hand controls, I think, like a lot of folks do, where you just want to use micro movements. You want to try to get around things, you want to get up to things, and you don't want to risk hitting something. So you can finesse the hand controls a lot more than you can with the foot controls. And if you're going in reverse, at least with the blade behind you, the foot controls can be a little confusing at times. The hand controls I nail down. I can work real great with hand controls going in reverse. But in terms of hand controls for small micro movements, that's still kind of my go-to method. But yeah, I'm getting better at it. Just trying to try the different techniques, the different ways of doing things as much as I can whenever I have an opportunity. But again, sorry for the noise. It's kind of like an air pocket in here with the door closed. It's very well sealed off. Just want to give you the quick update. Okay, so we officially have the pool up. We have our sand filter and our saltwater system all ready. I don't have this connected right now. Actually, let me move this kind of out of the way, only because the sidewalls lean in pretty bad until water fills it up and pushes it out. And this sidewall is going to come out probably at least 1.5 feet. So it'll relieve any tension on the hose going to the skimmer or the sand filter. I've ordered a Hayward skimmer box for the side, so we'll have a surface skimmer on it. I put bricks and some wood right here to kind of push the legs out because some of the legs don't have enough pressure on them to stay out yet, so that's doing that. And if you're wondering what I'm wearing, my wife got me a bunch of these really good fishing shirts that are super cool. Just has kind of like this aqua thing, then it's got a light blue down there, but man, they're really nice to wear, and especially when you're out here in the sun. So she got me like 6 of these things, and I wear them all the time now. Got the little ladder going inside for now. Again, we have an entire deck that's going to be built right here, and then it's going to surround the whole pool, and it's going to be the same height as the pool as well, so it'll go up to 52 inches. So in essence, you could literally sit up here and you'll be overlooking the pool. We have water going in the pool right now. I had a really tiny hose that was filling it, and it was taking too long, so I got a 3/4 inch inner diameter hose. It's a big commercial hose, and that's what we're using right now. But we kicked as many of the wrinkles out as we could on the inside. We got our concrete blocks on the outside so we don't void our warranty. But yeah, big pool. Definitely was a chore, especially the whole leveling aspect of it, making sure we level it and then coming back and putting the blocks in place and making sure that they were leveled. But once it fills up, all of this will expand out and it will completely, you know, kind of change the overall look. It'll be more of a rectangle at that point. But we are we're pretty far along at this point. We have the deck contractors coming out very soon to start their part of the job. Again, I'm going to put the skimmer in, and I'm going to try to figure out how best to do that. I'm going to switch all the plumbing to actual PVC plumbing, as opposed to all the little flexible hoses that they use, because those things only last about a year before they start to leak really bad. The deck is going to cover up a lot of it, which is really nice, so they won't get as much UV exposure, but PVC is certainly going to be a much better overall solution for long-term reliability in terms of the pump. But yeah, this is what it looks like. This thing is huge, and like I said, 52 inches. It's 4.5 feet tall. It's a very tall pool. Again, we have the pool liner, of course. Then underneath that, we have a tarp, which is this tarp. Then underneath that, we have foam. And then underneath that, we have another tarp. So piece of foam, 1-inch foam with tarps on both sides, and then the pool liner. And my daughter was already running around inside here, and she said she couldn't feel anything rough or bumpy on the inside. So we did a pretty good job leveling it all out. All right, good morning, everyone. Not sure if it's morning by the time you're seeing this, but it is the following day, and I'm just coming out here to check how well the pool has been filling up. Oh wow, it's over half, well, almost half full maybe. Yeah, it was important to make sure all these legs were extended out, because I want to make sure they are bearing the right type of force. And looks like everything's working well. So as it fills up, these sidewalls will stick out a little bit more. At least I hope they will. All right, coming over here. So again, as the water fills up, these sidewalls should start to extend out. It's coming along. Like I said, it looks to be about half full. 52 inches tall from the top to the ground. Inside of the pool will be probably right around 4 feet deep. It is a very large above ground pool. Okay, so we're wrapping it up for the day, not because we can't go any further. Well, I'm sorry, kind of because we can't go any further until the pool is completely full, because the outsides kind of bow in, or at least the centers, and I've seen this is completely normal. If you're watching this video and you're putting one of these pools up and you're trying to figure out what's going on, because as you assemble it, you start to fill it up, the outer edges or the outer sides look like they're really leaning in like this, and they start to work themselves out during the last 4 or 5 inches. And you can see they're definitely starting to come back out a little bit. You know, we did a really good job leveling it, but then now it doesn't look like we did the best of jobs leveling it, because this back corner seems like it's going to be a little bit high. Now, I hope that's not the case. I hope once this wall kicks out, it brings that back down a little bit, but it seems like it's going to be a little high, because I see 4 of the little blue squares above the water line here, but on this side I see 6 of them above the water line, and that's indicating to me this side's probably a few inches higher up. But again, we'll really know once the pool fills up a little bit more. Now on this side I see 6, on this side I see 6, so everything back here seems pretty level. It's that one side right there that I'm a little worried about, but again, hopefully everything works out the way it should. I'm ready to get everything running, get this thing cleaned. We got to add the salt to the pool so the saltwater generator works. But this is as far as we could do today. And we can't do any more until we're sure how tall the pool's going to be, so we can make the deck fit properly around it. But what do you guys think? Anyways, guys, it is super hot outside. We're wrapping it up for today. And we're going to hit it hard tomorrow morning, or the contractors are. And hopefully we can get this thing done the next couple of days. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.